stream is online now. You're good to go. Hello, everybody. I'm the man who runs the stream. These are my two friends. They're kind of
Oh, Patriot
idiots.
the Forge Master, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Fuck yeah!
They're both idiots. And also, don't curse.
Yes.
Please don't curse. Is my microphone level all right? Is it adequate? How do I know if it's adequate? Let me check out the stream real fast.
It's good. It's good.
It's good? All right, we're good here. We're good here.
Yeah.
I got the stream manager running on my phone. All right, let's do this. So, Mr. Patriot, would you like to tell them what we're doing here today?
Oh yeah, we're doing an introduction to Journey of Ascendance from... yeah.
And for those uninitiated, A Journey of Ascendance is the personal roleplay/story that me and my friends here have been working on for the past, I think, 1.5 years. It's not just us.
I'd actually say 3, maybe 4.
It's not just me.
It was started in 2019, if I'm correct.
And it's not just us three. It's also this guy right here, Nico. His name is Yami. And then there's you, whose alternate name is Cloud Mallow. And then there's what's their name again? No, I think that's it. There's 5 of us. Started out with just 2.
Yeah, I'm good.
Dang it, Dwayne! Why are you doing this?
Actually started out with... Actually, yeah, it was just 2. Started out with me and Joven.
Yeah. But, Joven is also Yami. But that's not the point. That's not the point here. Today we're discussing the entire history of it before we get into the actual lore, before we get into the actual streams with the RP. So, where should we start?
You should not, Phaetrian the Forge Master, you should not say real people's names on the internet.
Don't do that, yeah. Hello.
Just I shouldn't say the N-word.
Oh my god. For context, Dwayne is black.
Joking.
Don't worry about it. Dwayne is black. He has
Dwayne is literally dumb.
Yes. Anyways, so where should we start? Any ideas? I know. Let's start at the very beginning. Like the very, very beginning.
God. Are you going to read off the script?
No, not the script. I'm going to make it up as I go along. Listen, okay, for those of you uninitiated, the full thing, which you can find somewhere on the internet, is like 2 hours long. The full prologue of it, and that's just from one character's perspective. So, like, it's a bit of a yikes. Wait, is that a box with a Fanta can in it? What are you doing?
Grape. It's specifically grape Fanta.
Oh my god, where are my...
It's grape soda.
Where's my fun-sized bag of Jolly Ranchers? I need it.
Don't worry about it.
Where are my brain cells, man?
Continue. Oh.
Anyways.
We're running the stream here, people.
I know. Anyways, so, very beginning, right? At the very beginning of all things, right, there's literally nothing. Like, a true nothing. Not even an absence of light or anything, just literally nothing, right? Bit of a hard concept to understand, but yeah, nothing. And then, all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but, eventually, from somewhere, magic started to form. Ancient primordial magic. Like, really powerful stuff they're dealing with here.
Yeah, the good shit.
Now, this primordial magic focused itself in 2 ways, right? There was very simplified order magic and chaos magic, right? Order magic tend to follow orderly paths and do orderly things, right? It was nice, calm, structured, organized, all sorts of good things. Chaos magic was chaos magic. It pretty much does what it says on the tin. It went everywhere, destroyed everything, made just a bunch of stuff, destroyed it all on random, literally just for fun. It's chaos.
Burn it all!
Like he said. Pretty much. And so these two forces kind of coexisted for a little bit, right? They were just kind of vibing for quite a while there. But unfortunately, there was this huge pool of pure order magic, right? Order type magic, okay? And this huge pool of it, called an ocean of order, was just kind of chilling there. But all of a sudden, this really, really big tornado-esque, like hurricane type thing of pure chaos magic, right? Came into town, right? And the two collided, right? And it all condensed into a tiny little ball, right? And the ball exploded, and boom, first being in existence was born. A being now known as the Void. Adrian, take it away.
Ah, yes, the void. Infinite and unknowable being that is neither male nor female. Basically an equivalent to God, but it doesn't give a crap about you or your feelings. It just wants to vibe and have fun.
Two things. Two things. Yeah, the Void refers itself as more like a collective, so a they, and don't use cuss words.
I didn't cuss.
I'm gonna get copyrighted. Shut up, the way.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I forgot about I forgot about copyright.
Do
My
not
bad.
get this stream
Here,
copyrighted.
I realize.
Shut up.
I'm gonna mute
Oh wait,
both of you.
they won't copyright Patreon because his singing's
Oh
terrible.
my god. Anyways,
Fuck you.
right? What happened next was the Void kind of just stood around for a couple billion years doing literally nothing because didn't have a purpose. It's kind of there, really. And Mr. Patron, you've read the prologue. You like to tell the audience what happens next?
So eventually, the void found itself growing bored, and it created the wings of it started to create universes, and but they would flicker out and die in mere
Pause.
seconds.
That was a mistake. The way, if you would. God almighty.
What happened?
Patron made a mistake. Roast him.
What?
What do you make
What did
a
I
mistake
make a
on?
mistake on?
Okay, he didn't. The Void didn't make universes at first. It literally all it made was just like a planet, and then a sun, and then a system, right? Not
That's
and then a
pretty cool.
galaxy or so.
Okay. I
And then
forgot to make it escalate. Okay, sorry.
Also,
The way-
just letting you know, Koyas, the stream can see your chat,
I'm fully aware.
so you're fully aware that they said your vocal cords are tired.
Yes, that's the point. It's supposed to be a bit
Alright.
funny. Anyways, the way I choose you, roast him.
I choose you. Who am I? A fucking Pokemon?
Yes, you're Dway, the roast type Pokemon. You're a fire type. Now,
Damn.
you're here for one reason. Now, roast Patreon and do it well.
It's why you're white. Stupid dumb crap.
Okay. Patron, shut up. I'm gonna mute you.
Shut the. Please shut
Anyways,
the fuck
Dway, you're
up.
not doing your one
I'm
job.
not
That
gonna
makes me
get
want
all-
to continue.
Shut up.
You're not doing your one job. Thank you.
Well, I'm
Anyways,
sorry. I can't say racial slurs.
don't say that on YouTube. Anyways,
I can't say
so
them.
the Void made a planet, and then a star, then a system, and a bit of a galaxy. But as you were saying, Mr. Patreon, and you're
Shut
getting
up,
muted.
please.
Mute. All right. Anyways, now that Mr. Patreon is no longer
GD.
allowed to speak, I muted you, by the way.
Patreon no longer has rights.
Essentially, yes. You done now, buddy? You gonna actually
Just
talk?
like my kind.
Hey, no. Anyways, you done now, buddy? You gonna speak? Can you continue off the lore, please?
Yeah, I
Continue,
can I
continue.
speak now, please?
Yeah. Provided you don't do any more of that singing again. Go ahead.
Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, create a universe.
It did not. It
Okay,
created a
cool.
galaxy, but it kept.
Kept going, and eventually it got on to creating a universe.
No. Oh my god. All right, you're dumb. All right.
Up. Oh.
It created a planet, but it got vaporized because of the magic rolling around. And then a star, that got vaporized too. And then a system, and then a galaxy, but all of them were vaporized. And it got very annoyed at this prospect because, it was essentially God on steroids. And it was like, why can't I make anything? I'm essentially God. And so it decided to pull a bit of a drastic maneuver. And please, Patreon, get it right this time. What did it do?
It created the wings of infinity.
How did it do it?
Wow.
How did it do it, and what are the wings? You've read my document.
My God.
I can describe the wings.
You've.
I forgot how to do it. How it did it.
If
Wait,
you can't
are
tell,
we, are
if
we
you can't
reading
tell,
off the...
no,
Okay,
I'm not.
one
I'm pulling this from memory.
Okay.
Okay. If y'all
I was
can't
about to
tell,
say.
people watching this video and listening to the stream, if they're Harney, right? I'm the one who's making most of the writing decisions. Anyways, so what it did was it took about half of its power, right? And
No.
it channeled it into a singular point in space, right? A singular area. And what it did with that singular point in time and space is it condensed all that magic of power into a ball, a white floating ball, right? And then that ball, after existing for a few seconds, exploded, much like the void did. And then, uh, wait, please delete that.
Sorry. I
This is
meant
going
sec.
up
I
on
meant
YouTube.
sec. I meant sec. I meant sec.
I swear, this is a mistake.
I
Anyways,
meant sec.
the ball grew wings and came to be known as the Wings of
Oh.
Infinity. Now, Patron, please, you've read the document. Get it right this time. What happened afterwards?
Let's see. The wings proceed to create universes.
No, oh my God.
I am an idiot, and I have terrible
How?
memory. Shut up.
You're
How?
skipping
You've been
around
in this
so much.
RP. You literally made this RP. How can you?
Okay,
Stupid.
allow me to
You're
elaborate.
actually dumb.
The wings,
Tried
right?
maybe
They
the
existed for
founder
a
of
couple
fascism.
seconds. But the Void immediately realized that, wait a minute, if I gave half my power to this thing, that means it's equally as powerful as me, which means that it could get power hungry motives and try to kill me. Better kill it first. And then it attacked the wings, but the wings retaliated and engaged in a huge, epic clash out war with spells and stuff that could annihilate galaxies and stuff. And it's big, right? It goes into much more detail in the story. But, anyways, right? Immediately after
Man,
this, the Wings and
she's
the
12.
Void. God fucking. The Wings and the Void found themselves at a bit of an impasse, considering how neither could kill the other, right? And so what they did was the Wings and the Void came to a pact, basically. The Wings would create and protect life, and the Void would take care of the souls of those who died until they were ready to come back into life. Think of it as like an afterlife situation, but the void takes care of those who have died. Whenever they're ready to be born, they get shuffled off into the land of the living where the wings live. Now, immediately, the wings fix the problem of stuff immediately getting vaporized due to the immense magical energy in the void by just taking some of its own feathers, and, crafting them into strings, which they then wove into the fabric of reality. Simple enough. With this fabric of reality stabilized, which served as a bubble, served, which served as a bubble to shield from the dangers of the void.
Saved as Baba.
Which served as a shield to shield reality from the void. They then finally, Mr. Hadrian, got to making universes. Now,
Hey!
if you do me a favor, right, and
Yeah.
pull up the document, the prologue, please, and read
I'll
from
do
that.
that now.
Yeah, so you can stop being such an embarrassment to your parents. Like,
What the?
You embarrassed the nation.
What?
literally, you
We're
are.
going Mulan on your ass.
Ouch!
You got to serve your country.
Jeez, man. Why do you have to do me like that?
Because you keep forgetting basic facts about the story we spent 2.5 years on, bro. Pull up the document and read what happens next, and then tell the kind people of this video and of this stream what
Okay.
happens. My God. I can pull this from memory, and you're part of.
Forces of Chaos, Raw Magic Power.
I can pull this from memory. How you've been on here just as long, if not longer, than I am. How can you not remember this?
I have shit memory. I've explained this to you before.
No cursing. Cease.
I can say it because I'm funny, man.
You can say minor curse words because you're funny, man. All right.
No saying cuss words, guys.
Yeah.
If you
No.
say cuss words, you're gonna go to jail.
This is going on YouTube. I do not want to get demonetized into YouTube hell, guys. Come on.
Okay. Hey, that's a curse word.
No, it's not.
That was not a curse word.
In some religions, it's a
Bruh,
curse
I
Only
don't
in Christianity.
Okay, let's not do that, guys. Let's not do that. I don't want to get my review. I don't want to get my channel negative bombed and reported.
Anti-Christian.
Shut up. Anyways, Mr. Patron, did you pull up the document?
Yes. Let's see. Where are we?
Okay,
It's
we're
created small. It's at first it started small.
don't read off from the actual document. Just summarize well.
Yeah, don't
Okay,
don't read
okay.
word for word.
So the wings it started created. It started small, not too big. Nothing much.
You know what?
A ball of freaking dirt.
You know what else isn't too big?
The way, don't you dare, don't do it.
And the dirt slowly melted and turned into a core. They're like the shit you use for planets.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
And then
Spicy.
that core turned into a star, got nice big, and then turned into a freaking solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. Now,
Spicy.
I tell you, I'll
That's
ask you
some
this, Mr.
spicy
Patreon.
Wait,
meatballs.
on the script it says the light,
Can you not say the
a,
script out loud on stream?
a bright
Can
light
you
would
like not?
illuminate the pitch black surface of the planet.
Okay, okay, yeah, I need to listen. That's a draft. That's a draft, not the final product. I still need to
How
summarize.
about
I
you
still need to read through that and edit it. Shut up.
draft?
You're
I'm gonna
cursing.
draft your ass into
Stop.
World War III if you
Oh
don't
my
shut the fuck
god.
up.
Okay,
Oh
you're
shit!
cursed again.
Our
Both of you
gaming's
cursed. Shut up.
so
Anyways, Patron, please. All right. So, quick question. Yeah. Out of the 8 planets, well, technically 9. I'm a Pluto believer. 9 planets that were in the solar
Pluto doesn't
system.
exist.
Shut up. Out of the 9 planets that were in that solar system, which one did it pick for life first, my friend?
Earth bit
Now, the third one. And what did it call that planet?
Mars.
Do you not know your planets, Patreon?
No, no. They
Having a
called it.
brain fart.
They called
How
it.
do you not?
The Wings called it Terra.
Ah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now, okay. Please, what happened when the Wings got to Terra? What did they first make? Enlighten us.
Humanity. Oh wait.
You're
Humanity!
stupid. You're stupid.
God
You're
almighty, you
stupid.
haven't read my document at all, bro.
They
Okay.
made
I'm not
humanity.
reading the document. I'm playing a video game.
They made
They made it
humanity
humanity.
last, bro. Okay, wow. Alright.
Humanity.
Shut up. Anyways, so,
It's
the Wings.
humanity, not humanity. It's humanity.
Shut the.
We're gonna get copyrighted. I'm gonna mute you to it. Anyways, so,
Copyrighted. Oh my.
and I'm muting you.
Game no
Watch me.
life.
Tisk tisk
My
tisk.
my buttons, my cursor's hovering over the button. Anyways, right? So
Black.
the Wings got to Terra, right? And immediately they started fixing stuff up, right? They first made grass, and they made some water for the grass to live on. And then they were like, you know what? Let's take this a step bigger. And they made animals, and then they made flowers and trees and all sorts of bushes and stuff, all sorts of neat stuff, right? And then they made things that kill other animals, and that was pretty neat for a while. And then they're like, all right, this is nice and all, but I want to create something that can actually talk to me, right? With like something unique. So what it did was it took a part of its power and made a vessel, something to store power, memories, information, and skills in of a life long lived, right? Think it, and they called it a soul. Think of a soul in this world as more like a information, like a what's it called? I'm having a brain fart here. A hard drive, right? Everything that you are and everything that you've lived through, your personality and your memories and your abilities, whether that be casting fireballs or jumping over hills, right, is stored within your soul. It's what makes you unique. If you were to lose your memories, the soul itself would, you know, therefore become unique, not unique, and just become a hollow shell. It created an untold amount of hollow shells waiting for souls to fill it. Right? But that's not the point, right? It created a being. Didn't name the being.
To
Didn't even
fill.
no, it didn't even name the being. It just kind of let itself wander around. It talked to it for a little bit. The wings did, right? But then they were like, all right, you know what? I'm out. And so they left. And the wings created a lot more stars with a lot more planets orbiting around it. Some of which they gave life to, some of which they didn't. This eventually gave rise to the first galaxy, which they called the Milky Way. Immediately after this, they started establishing more galaxies, and more, and more, and more, and more, until they had a universe. Now, Mr. Fachan,
Yes.
what did
Let's
they
see if
do?
you can get this one right.
What did they do immediately after they established the very
Let's
first
set this
universe?
up like it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Let's give them an A B
Very
C
first
D
what?
answer.
The way it's talking, I can't hear you over
What did they
him.
do after establishing the very first universe?
Oh my.
No, no, no. Tell me. What did they do immediately after establishing the first universe?
I know
It's
the
what?
answer. I know the answer.
Way singing is overshadowing your voice.
What did? Okay,
You're
Dwayne, shut up. What did the Wings of Infinity do immediately after establishing the very first universe?
ooh, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Hmm.
Shut up, Dwayne.
I know the
Dwayne, give
I
him a
answer.
want to
chance.
say blow it up.
Bro, no, no. Dwayne, what was your answer?
They destroyed it.
Both of you are wrong. Okay, wow.
Didn't they?
No, they did
Why does
not.
that
That
girl
happened.
have such a fat ass?
I'm
My
losing
bad, my bad,
brain
my bad, my
cells.
bad.
Okay. Anyways, right. So, immediately after establishing the very first universe, they were like, this universe is nice, but it's too small. So they made another one. And they filled it with all
Universe is
sorts of
too
stuff, and then they
small.
were like, this one's slightly different from the other one. Still too small. And so they made another universe, and another, and
What
another,
else is
another, and
too small?
shut up. Anyway, and they made an untold amount of universes, each with their own unique quirks and planets and all sorts of stuff, until they made an entire multiverse with an untold amount of universes stored inside of it. I think somewhere the number was somewhere around 800 quintillion, I think. Really big number, like uncountable, close to infinity. Anyways, so immediately after doing this, they were like, well, this is neat, but like, I wonder what would happen if I gave an entire planet, like an entire planet full of life, right? A species with souls, like intelligent life with souls in it, right? And so they went down to Terra in one of the random universes. Mind you, they copied Terra into every single universe they made because it's the first planet they made. We wandered on down. And they're like, all right, tell you what, yeah, I'm gonna make some guy. I'm gonna make a species, right? Tall, broad. I'm gonna get copyrighted the way you arrogant little. I'm gonna mute you. Anyways, so they rolled up to Terra, and they were like, all right, I'm gonna make a species that has pointy ears and can harbor magic, and it's gonna be like really good at everything basically, and has long life too. And so with their power, they concentrated it, and boom, made elves. They called them elves.
Hey, elves! Those sons
I,
of
I
bitches.
I thought you were gonna say made out. I don't know
No,
why. I actually thought you were gonna say they made out.
no, no, no. Any
Wait, erase that dirtiness from your mind.
guys,
It's
shut up. Let me explain. Let me continue. Anyways,
what the
right?
dog doing?
They made the elves, and they made like a lot of them, like a couple 100 million elves. And the Waynes basically told them, "All right, your job is to harness the power of magic and be the best that you can." Now, mind you, this
What?
this statement would be quite literally misinterpreted as, you know, be better than everyone else, no matter the cost, which would lead to the elves having a certain, how do I say this, disposition towards other races.
Superiority complex?
Pretty much, yeah. Right. And so the Wings, having accomplished this, left that universe and were like, dang, man, that was pretty cool. How do we do that again? And so they went to another random universe and they were like, all right. So the magic idea was cool, but what if I go the opposite direction and make something that's full on brawn, might, and muscle with like really good teammanship and that's pretty much hard to kill, right? But doesn't leave long lives, right? And so they took green, pretty hardy skin, gave him lots of muscles, gave him like pretty low intelligence, unfortunately, and just a lot of warfare skill and teamwork and camaraderie. And they made the orcs. That's what they called them.
I knew you were going to say that, just my instincts told me so.
And the orcs, right? They were like, "What do we do?" And the wings told them, "Conquer everything. Well, not conquer everything, but you lived to fight, so fight." And so the orcs never truly, none of the orcs really truly ever surpassed the tribal stage because they're too busy whacking each other, really. But hey, right? Unintended consequences are unintended consequences. So they moved on. So they were like, well, that was nice, but like one of my civilizations lives in the trees, and another one lives on the plains. What about underground per se? And so they went to another random universe. I think like Universe 14, Like, and they meandered on down, and they were like, all right, all right, all right. So this time I'm going to make them short, bulky, and strong, so they can fit into tunnels and lift rocks heavily. I'm going to make them really, really good miners, and really
Did he
fast
make
sprinters.
wolves?
And so they combined short height with stubby bodies and magnificent beards for whatever reason. And they
And then they
made
made Phaeton.
no,
There we go.
no. Anyways, right? And magnificent beards and just really, really good mining skill. And they made the dwarves.
That's pretty cool.
And they made a couple 100 million of them and spread them across the planet. And they spread like
That's pretty cool.
wildfire. And when the dwarves asked the wings, "What is our purpose?" Right? Wings said, "To mine and to craft." Oh, no. To mine,
Dang.
uh,
To
to
mine and to craft.
to mine and advance in technology. And so the dwarves' planet became a beacon of technology and science beyond anything the other species had hoped to achieve. However, unfortunately, this did lead to them having a bit of a science complex when it came to certain things. Unintended consequences and all that. But anyways, after doing this, they were like, "Dang, man, four
It's been a
species.
year,
That's
Daddy.
cool. They've already expanded to the edges of their
Really miss
universe,
you.
and like they're already taking
Mommy
out.
said
They're
she
already
misses
starting to
you
expand
guys
to other
too.
universes. This is pretty neat, mind you.
Mommy said
A couple
she
hundred
still misses
million
you.
years passes between every species they create, and then a couple 100 billion years more. Well, not billion, but like 1 billion or 2 years passes while they're looking for another universe to create a new species in. This is taking a very long time. But anyways, right? So they're like, "Dang, that was pretty nice, right? All these species are so unique and interesting, but none of them really seem to worship me all that well. So why don't I do that instead?" Right?
Clang.
And so they meandered on down to another version of Terra, and they were like, "All right, all right, all right. These ones are gonna have more connection to me. Since I made animals first, they're gonna be more animal-like, right?" And so they gave them 2 arms, 2 legs, some eyes, animal ears, right? Hair on the top of their head for some reason, and then they took all the animals they'd ever created and made variants of said species from these animals, right? And they made them extremely religious, and they made them they made this new species, right? Extremely religious and have religious powers related to the wings and gods in general. They called this new species the demi-humans.
Hey!
Hmm? There were fox demi-humans, there were cow demi-humans, and there were all sorts of demi-humans, right? Dog, cat, whatever. And yes, demi-humans came before humans, but don't worry about it. Anyways, right? They were done with this, and they're like, "Dang, man, that's pretty cool. I think I'm done now, honestly. I can't think of any more species to create." So they went back to the first world, right? And immediately they ran into the first guy they ever made. Apparently, in their zealor to create something interesting, they accidentally gave the guy immortality. Bit of a whoopsie, right?
His name
And
is Upnapishtim.
no, gave him immortality on accident. Bit of a whoopsie. They went up to the first guy, right? The very first sentient being, right? And this sentient being looked up at their creator and they said, "What is my purpose now? You created me and then abandoned me. What have I been meant to learn, right?" And Wings looked at it and then were like, and then they had a bit of a thought process go inside their head for a little bit. And they were like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Just realized something. I'm only one person, and if I want to create more potential universes in the future, right? I'm not going to be able to rule over all these universes at a time because I'm barely keeping up with one multiverse. What about the hundreds of more I plan to create?" So they looked at this guy and they were like, "Your purpose is to rule." So they scooped up the guy and they called him the One, right? And this guy called the One, right? He wasn't really a part of any race in particular. He was more like a sentient blob of light, I suppose. They took this thing, the One, right, and they made him the leader of the Council. And the Council is basically the governing body of every world that the Wings ever created, right? They're meant to preserve order, keep life intact, and make sure that everything generally goes all right. And they realized that one person would not be able to do this alone, so the Wings created the second and the third, the three most powerful beings in the Omniverse, multiverse, right now, to keep watch and help out the One in general. And they deemed these three most powerful beings with a special title. A title befitting of one that would rule an entire multiverse with their power. They called the one and his comrades supreme beings. More accurately, supreme gods. Favorite.
Let's see. The third, blah blah blah, council shit. Tale for another time. Council established and wings proceed to their desires. Make another multiverse.
Desires?
Their
What
own
type of
gods and build
desires?
universes, each representing a
Oh, let's go.
unique possible way that Terra and the universe as a whole could be built. Along with these universes came new races populated with sentient beings, each with
Translation.
their own unique souls.
Mhm.
These races came to be known as blah blah blah. They already went over that. It was
Translation for
finished.
those of you who do not read that sort of language, he's just reading off of the script. Basically, immediately after establishing the council, the Wings went to create thousands of more multiverses, each with their own unique possible way of Terra and the universe surrounding it as a whole to be made. There were Terras that were made of literal fire, some of which went extinct, some of which were a utopia, and each of these Terras had their own
Oh
unique
yes,
species.
Oh, that's pretty
Yes?
cool.
yes. What you're saying and what I'm reading, chronology doesn't really add up.
What do you mean?
I don't remember where that was my problem.
Apparently,
Ah,
demi-humans and all the orcs
Yes?
and all that
One second.
bada bing
I'll be
came
right back, guys.
after the council was formed.
yeah.
A
I
bunch
should
of other
let you
stuff
guys
happened.
know that
Wait, the
I'm
gods came
I'm
in
also
sometime.
streaming right now. I'll play Diva.
Wait,
I'm
gods
also
came in
streaming
sometime
while
before the
Chloe's is streaming.
council. Hello. Playing our game of Battlefront. They might want to reimburse what you're
Patreon, you should
saying.
watch my stream.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm back. I had to go talk to my family for a second. Yeah, that's a bit of a translation error. I meant for the species to come before the rest of the universes came in, but like, don't worry about it. And anyway, it happened, right? Species came to exist. Lots of more universes came to exist. Makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, right? So the Wings made a total of 10,000 multiverses, each holding an untold amount of universes, each a distinct way of the Earth, or Terra at this point, being able to be made, and each with a distinct way of their universe to be made, each populated with the sentient creatures that they had created. And immediately after that was done, they were like, dang, I'm pretty tired now. I think I'll go rest, right? And so they went back to the original Terra and decided to take a bit of a breather. But what happened literally immediately after they started taking a breather, Fatrian?
Uh,
Don't read from the script.
uh, let's see. Let's realize something, an inevitable, terrible truth. It realized that with absolute power comes corruption.
And what does
Just
that
held
mean?
life are corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And so, what did the Wings realize that, the Wings realized that they had infinite power. They're the most powerful beings in the entire omniverse. Quick question: what happens in an extra 10 billion years when they become corrupt with their power? Nobody would be able to stop them. Life at itself would be potentially destroyed. Right now, mind you,
Right.
at this time, a couple billion years are already passed because creating 10,000 multiverses is going to take a while. But that's not the point. And
Yeah, we
so,
haven't even gotten into trillions of years yet.
and so, tell me, Mr. Patron, what was the Wing's solution to this problem?
Bring the finite wings. Keep its power in check.
No.
Finite.
We retconned that a long time ago, my friend.
We retconned it.
Yeah, we did.
I
That
need
whole
to work on Phaedron's perspective
that whole
because
story
it's
arc was
still in
dumb.
there.
Anyways, What they decided was,
That
hey,
voice.
if I have infinite power, why not just separate my power into 3 chunks? That way, you know, nobody will ever have infinite power. So, right, what they decided to do was they were going to separate themselves into 3 wings, right? Each non sentient, but capable of wielding immense power in case life ever needed to protect itself. So, the life as a whole would still have the power of the wings in case the void anything ever did anything stupid. However, the power of the wings would not result in tyranny. Pretty smart idea, if you ask
Right.
me.
Right. That makes sense.
However, they came across a bit of a philosophical conundrum here, yeah? Right? Quick
But
question. Who to trust infinite power to?
um
Because they looked
we
upon their creations and they were like, okay, I need to give this power, my power, or at least a chunk of it, to one of my species, right? To one of my sentients. Problem is, none of them are really worthy, right? Patron, read ahead while I'm doing this. None of them are really worthy to wield it, right? The elves were too prudent and cocky and a bit racist with their, superiority. The dwarves were too greedy and too indifferent to the problems
Ah, that
above.
sucks.
The orcs were orcs, so that was off the table. And the demi-humans were
So orcs are
really
like miners.
no. The orcs are bloodthirsty people. And the demi-humans, an interesting choice, yes, but they could get a bit too how do I say this? Crusade at sometimes. So they were put as a maybe, right? So the wings, facing a conundrum, retreated back to Terra again.
So I'm just gonna go back here.
And the wings, facing a conundrum, went back to Terra again, and they thought about it for a little bit, and they came to a pretty obvious but still ingenious solution. Mr. Patreon,
Yes.
what solution did they come to?
Let's see. They create a cocktail of the other races, just a whole melting pot. They just took some of the features from each of the races and just shoved it into a whole pot and mixed it together,
So
suppressing
what
some
again?
features while enhancing others. Basically
Translation of
making
that being, if one species could not wield the power of the wings, then what if they combine the traits and aspects of all of the species? That way, that ultimate species, that perfect species, well, not perfect, but that species could be the perfect carrier of the wings, right? And so they took power and some of the tallness of the elves and the brawn of the dwarves and of the orcs, and then the pure mining skill of the dwarves and the what is it? I think it was like the hunting prowess. I think from the demi-humans, right? Well, no, the physical appearance of the demi-humans, right? And it combined it all into one genetic cocktail. Some of these traits would suppress, for instance, the tallness and the muscularness, while others were enhanced. For instance, the ability to wield magic, right? And once all this were rolled into one, they came up with a being that kind of looked like a demi-human, but wasn't at the same time. They didn't have any of the animal features. And so they call this new species human. No demi, just human. Or, in other words, humanity. However, very quickly they realized that, wait a minute, given power, these creatures with their long lives will grow pride, hubris, right? They will grow arrogant in their power and quickly devolve into tyrants. And so what they did was they
easier.
heavily, heavily nerfed the human's lifespan from around 500 years to just about 100 at max, right? It'd have been ouch if you ask me, but they gave him a way, way better power in return. Adrian, what power, what ability did the wings grant humanity?
Infinite goddamn potential.
I.e.,
Your
all the
mama
other.
looks like some infinite
Oh my
potential.
god, Dway, why would you ruin that? I.e., right? All the other species and races had a limiter, right? A cap to their power. They could not grow beyond that specific limiter, and it was different to each person. One person's limiter might be at just basic spells.
Let's go. I won. I
Another,
won. I'm the best.
well,
My
and
bad.
then another person's limiter of an elf, right, might be at god level, right? They could potentially become a god, and another person would be stuck to being a farmer, right? However, with humanity,
Oh, random.
literally none of them had a limiter. It was It was ridiculous. None of the humans had a limiter. They could all become as powerful as supreme gods if they so wished. However, there was one little hitch note in that saying right there, yeah? Um they would have to obtain immortality for that to happen. As the years wore on, their power would increase. However, right now, with no immortality, they are, of course, the shortest lived of all the species. So, while they may be generally regarded as weak to the other species of the world, only a select few of the most powerful beings in the omniverse know the truth that if given the chance and the truth, humanity could become a powerhouse and literally exterminate all the other species.
I don't screw with humans. They're gonna wreck your shit, man.
I mean, like if they know and if they're prepared and if they live forever, maybe. But usually you can probably go burn down a human village. Wouldn't be any real consequence. But anyways, right?
Yeah.
I digress. And so, after saying a final word of goodbye to the one, the wings themselves split into
Okay.
three.
I think
Those
it
three
works. I think it works now.
those three components being what, Phaedrian?
Uh, creation, fate, well, beginning, fate, and end.
Now, what do the wings of beginning do?
Wings of beginning can only create, never destroy, and never control, but merely create. But it can create basically anything it fucking wants, man.
Cursing. And yes, the wings of fate, on the other hand.
Wings of Fate cannot create nor destroy. It stands in the middle. It controls the what basically all things in creation are able to do, what they do and what they can do.
Mhm.
Basically, it's the administrator.
However, right, they cannot control the time of death. No matter what fate does, that is permanent. One thing
Yeah.
outside of their control. And
Uh,
finally, but most certainly not least, the wings of end.
Wings of End cannot create nor control. Can only destroy. Can destroy near anything.
It is these three wings were created very specifically to help out life if it should ever need it. The wings of beginning would be able to fly down to ruined battlefields and scarred planets and make them anew, allowing life to flourish. The wings of fate, in theory, their user would be able to guide the
Okay.
actions of every living thing to a proper place and allow for civilizations to flourish under their command. The wings of end, however, they would bring an end to anything and everything that would dare to threaten life, even
Yeah,
if,
take note. Take note that the wings could not use their powers on each other. They
yes.
were for Yeah, for example, fate cannot control beginning nor end. It was stagnant in that way.
And mind you, these wings' powers were respondent to those who controlled them. I.e., if a normal farmer were to get the wings of end, they could only kill things like bushes and maybe some trees. However, if a god were to get the wings of end, they'd be able to decimate entire planets, galaxies, with about a snap of their fingers. Be really interesting.
Mm.
Now, these wings would be spread out through all of humanity. Oh, there's something I forgot to mention, right? Immediately after making humanity, but before splitting up, the wings spread humanity on every single Terra throughout their multiverse, throughout their omniverse, even. Every single Terra in every single universe in every single multiverse was dominated by humanity.
I
It
mean,
was.
come on, let's be honest. Humanity, if given the chance and the resources and the time, they would become absolute badasses that would destroy everyone's shit.
Cursing, and yes. And, by the way, in case you didn't know, humanity was the favorite child of the wings.
Of course, naturally.
And so these wings, beginning, fate, and end, would be spread throughout the human population, throughout the entire omniverse, randomly for generations. This would mean that one generation would have the wings in one universe, but then they could end up in a completely different universe or omniverse, not or multiverse, anywhere in the omniverse. It was random. So you could come from a peasant family, and your child could literally be born with the wings of beginning, or fate for that matter.
It's also something you can attain.
There were
Well,
certain select trials, but it
of
was kind of
course.
hard to do. Now, mind you, right? Where was I? Ah, yes, right. Now, mind you, some humans would take the power granted to them by birth and abuse it, which is not exactly surprising. What species wouldn't? There were the tyrants with the wings of death. I mean, the wings of end, tyrants with the wings of beginning, and tyrants with the wings of fate. It
I
was,
think that the most tyrannical of all the wings is Fate,
oh,
personally,
definitely,
because of its ability to impose near absolute control upon pretty much anything.
exactly. But I digress, right? There would definitely be tyrants. There would be tyrants in every species. But what came to be interesting is the elves, ents, and well, not ents, but the other species, right? There would be a majority of tyrants. They would abuse this power to their own control and demand without any disregard for their own species, hell, even for other species, hell, even their own species, right? What's fascinating about humanity is, even though they had the burdens and negative drawbacks of every other species, they also had the greatest, the positive traits of every other species: passion, empathy, hope. It was everywhere in humanity. And oddly enough, there were more heroes and helping hands than there were dictators and tyrants. More often than not, spread
Alright,
throughout the omniverse, there would be those using the wings
let me
themselves
just
to help out
turn
their fellow
you
man.
down.
Hell, even their
How do I
own,
turn you down?
even other races. It was a sight to behold in and of itself. They were unique among the cosmos. Now,
Oh, okay.
Really, the
Don't
beauty
do
of
that.
having
Don't
a
do that.
melting pot.
mhm. Now, these humans, with their wings, were immediately beset by all the other species. Like,
Okay, so
immediately after the wings split
still
themselves,
can't be Deva or
I'm muting
Diva.
away.
My bad.
Sorry.
Shut up, DeWay, please.
Sorry, man. Anyways, right? So immediately afterwards, after the wings split themselves, you know what happened?
But
All the other races came to them in their starships and were like, "We're gonna mess you up, boy," because they were very jealous about not being handed the wings, as one could assume. And
yeah,
so, unfortunately, however, what they didn't account for was one guy had the wings of fate among the crowd. Because, ooh, unlucky. So he just used the wings of fate to just tell everybody that their fate was not to destroy humanity yet. And they all just buggered off.
yeah, yeah.
Literally, he just told them, "No, you," and they left. Because what else could they do? So, anyways, with that problem sorted, they began to spread throughout every universe they were in, except for the ones where Earth was literally on fire or glass. But don't worry about that, right? And this, my friends, is where you actually, after about 40, 50 minutes of explanation, is where you actually get to meet one of the main characters of the story. Because on one random planet in Universe 8, well, not random, Earth on Universe 8, the child.
If I'm correct, it's categorized as A8, one the original.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On A8, the Universe A8, right, on Earth, on Terra, was birthed Coeus Lamfonti.
Oh wait, shit.
Coeus Lamfonti.
I was
The
thinking of Yami's universe. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Coeus Lamfontage. The I want to say main protagonist, or
Don't. Everybody's equally protagonist.
no, that can't be true. I mean, look at I hate to say this, but look at the way he's
You can
character.
have more than one protagonist in a series.
I know, but like, Koi's. Okay, how about this? Yeah, the most powerful member of our little gang was born.
Physically powerful, yes, guaranteed.
Technically, magically powerful, but we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. He was born to a relatively, uh, just a regular family on a regular planet. Kind of all right. Yeah, just one small little problem. He was really irregular. In that, allow me to explain something, a concept, if you will. Sometimes souls will escape the void and come out a bit damaged, per se. Sometimes they'll come out with pieces missing, whole chunks of their soul just kind of gone, right? Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing, as if you're missing a certain amount, right? You can fill that amount with even more power, and it's basically like a limiter remover, right? If you pass a certain percentage point, however, you're gonna die without filling it, per se, right? And that percentage point is usually hovers around 30, maybe 20%, right? He was missing half of his soul, so he was, as you would say, an anomaly. Now, mind
A
you,
spaß.
hmm?
German for the fun.
What?
Fun.
Anyways, right? He was as you say an anomaly. Now, mind you, a couple hundred years earlier, a certain being was born on another planet to another family, a family called the Hokiatsu clan.
Hyoketsu.
Hyokatsu, it's a Japanese name, man.
It's easy to say. It's easy to remember.
No, it's not. To you, it is because you're a weeb, but like,
You are even more of a weeb than I am.
you're an
You
uber.
got me into anime.
I did, but you.
Remember?
Oh my god, you're an uber mega weeb, man. I don't want to hear it. Go ahead with your character, man.
Adrian Hyoketsu. Born
The
on Earth
furry
8.
weeb.
It's my turn right now.
Sorry.
Born on Earth 8. In the month of June, on June 1st, 2006, by our calendar. Uh, he was, basically your average kid, other than an overactive imagination and, yeah,
Hey, bro.
yeah.
Hate to break it to you, but he wasn't an average kid. He was born with something a bit special, or did you forget that one too?
What the?
You do remember what Fatry was before the first reset, right?
Yeah, here's the Beyond God of Fate.
With the wings of fate.
Yeah, he attained them because Yami helped him and gave him some tips and tricks.
Oh, yeah, right, I forgot about that. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's why I brought up a point earlier saying, but you can't attain them.
Okay, anyways, right? So, he, Mr. Fatron was born. He obtained the wings of fate later in life, yeah? Now, this is not, I will reiterate, this is not an entire lengthy, in-depth dive into the lore, mainly because, quite literally, it would mean that we'd have to cover 60 trillion years worth of history between three different characters, which we're
Oh,
not.
60 trillion is the beyond is like the whole Supreme God arc.
Yes, that which took 2 years to establish and work through.
Yeah, and we're still working through it and adding on to that arc.
I know.
Yes.
Anyways, so, as I was saying, Hadrian was born. He would be later known as the God of Fate. And Coeus would later become known as the God of Order, the last Lord of the Night. Which, relevance there, but we'll get on to that later.
You skipped. I think you like shot forward a lot further than you did with Patreon.
Did I?
Yeah, like said Patreon. Oh yeah, God Fate, and then which is like Beyond God arc.
Oh,
But
yeah, I
then you
did.
shot like entire amounts of like 60 trillion years later to Coeus.
That's fair. Okay, sorry, backtracking a bit, right? There was on another planet born a human, bit of a tyrant, bit of an a-hole, who was developing a virus that would allow him to control and or decimate literally anything and everything he wanted to because he was a bit of a prick, really, who believed in chaos, right? The locals, however, didn't really like that. So, what they did was, before he could complete it, right, he injected the virus into himself to see if it could, fix it somehow, which it didn't, because that never works out. And the locals ganked up on him in his tower. And by the way, the injecting thing was a last minute desperation, right? The locals ganked up on him in his tower, and then literally crucified him and sacrificed him to chaos, so that chaos itself would leave their little town alone. And guess who listened?
The good old chaos energy of the void.
You see, at a certain point, when you gather enough power in one place, yeah, they tend to gain. It tends to gain a consciousness. This was not untrue for the powers that lied in the void. And thus, the primordial energy forces of chaos and order had gained personalities and consciousnesses at this point.
Conscious now.
And so, what happened was, Chaos saw the sacrifice and was like, huh, neat virus. Strolled on in, inhabited the body, took over the soul, erasing the old personality, and then laid waste to that planet and that universe. And it came to be known as Yami the Shinigami.
Yeah. And for anybody that doesn't care for the title, Yami Schiffer.
Mm-hmm. I had it was Cypher.
Yeah, but apparently it was mispronounced in like Japanese. So it was Schiffer in the anime known as Bleach, and that's where the inspiration for the name came from.
Whatever, Schiffer it is. I digress, right? Yami, the god of chaos. Now, uh, to give a how say this? To give a half decent explanation of what happened per se, right? Phaetrian, well, actually, yeah. Could you think you could explain Phaetrian's whole story until right up he gets to where he meets Koi's at the school?
Yeah. So basically, Phaetrian at the age of 12, completely by chance, he just ran into Yami just completely by chance. He was basically a kid back then, and he was curious. And the creature known as Yami had a childish form as well, and therefore Phaetrian wished to follow him around, assuming, oh yeah, he's just another kid. I can hang out with him. And turns out, yeah, yeah, Bobby was not a kid. He was a trillion-year-old chaos being that had to led Phaetrian to becoming really fucking powerful.
Language, first off, and second off, yeah, it's kind of what happened to the follow God of Chaos.
Yeah. Eventually, Phaetrian became a god, known as the god of craziness, harbinger of insanity. And a century or two without aging,
Edge!
or
Sorry, go ahead.
after a century or two without aging or existing in the realm of mortals, he became really, really freaking bored. I mean, seriously. And
Was Phaetrian
Yami
human at this point, or did he already start,
was human. He was human.
that he didn't start respecing until later?
No, he didn't do the respecking until he became supreme god.
I'll explain that later, don't worry about it. Anyways, go ahead.
Basically, Patreon, he got so bored that he went searching for new power, like a new power to attain. He found out about the good old wings of infinity. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, Yami, you know about this? And as far as he knew, Yami didn't know about this. And through a bit of tips and tricks, a bit of boot kissing here and there, he eventually got a third of the wings power, the wings of fate. But the wings power came at a cost because no being has ever claimed it, like without sacrificing something. So Phaetrian sacrificed his humanity, and with that, his morality.
You see, it's a bit of an unfortunate situation right there, because once you realize that literally he had infinite power in the palm of his hand just by being lucky enough to be born human, he was like, might as well sacrifice it all. kind of
Basically, Patron still looked human. He like had a human form, but in his mind, yeah, no, he ain't human. He's just an emotionless being that wants to have fun.
think. Well, no, I can't really.
Barely even feels like any negative emotion.
Bit of an a-hole, really.
Yeah, not gonna lie, he is.
So, what did you do after that, my friend?
So after that, he wandered around conquesting and such, just on his own, and he got tired of being the only beyond god. So he got Yabi the Wings of Ed. Yeah, helped him out. Eventually, he got and the two were having fun for a while, but then they got bored being on their lonesome. So they both decided to grab a third for the wings of beginning. Because let's face it, they were pretty much destroying everything at this point, and they need someone to make some more stuff for them to destroy, otherwise everything is dead. So they got a like they only know the name of this person they grabbed. Not even Coeus remembers his name. His name was Preston, and they drafted him, and they were good friends with him before becoming whole beyond gods and such. And they threw him in and gave him the wings of beginning.
Sounds reasonable. All right, so
Not as far as I know. Didn't even know the finite wings were retconned until now. So
don't worry about it. Anyway, so they gave this man the wings of beginning. Now, he got bored again, because,
yeah, they keep getting bored. They want to conquest everything, but conquesting isn't all that's to life, you know. So they battled each other every now and then, found different forms of fun. But none of it was permanent, and it was all fleeting. So Phaedra decided, you know what? Fuck it, and decided to age himself down to middle schooler. And yeah, he ran into good old Coeus.
and now,
He was being incognito for like at least a year or two.
mind you, right, the second that he met Kelly, he immediately realized that something's off here.
Yeah. Let's see. From what I get from Phaetron's perspective, one day in a temporary slump, Phaetron disguised himself as a weak human who attended middle school. He spent 3 years in what felt like a piece of hell, with the only friend he truly made in that time being a man named Coeus, whose inquisitive mind and astonishing intellect led him to contradict yet compliment Phaetron's wild and irrational mind. Eventually, Coeus noticed something off about Phaetron, for he seemed more energetic than his usual Chiniboyo self was. Then Coeus approached
I'm
the
sorry, did you
subject.
just say Chune Boyo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch you.
Coeus
Okay.
approached the subject. Phaetron revealed his grand secret
Bro, 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 bro,
he
bro,
had
bro,
been
bro.
hiding.
Pro tip, yeah, pro tip from well, not a master, but a fairly decent storyteller. Slow down and give things dramatic pauses. Slow down, my guys.
Now the middle school was coming to an end. Phaetron showed Coeus his wings and offered him a power like no other. End of paragraph.
Basically, what happened was, Mr. Patreon, right, in all of his glory, was like, in all of his, oh my god, Albie, give me a second, entertain the audience. Yellow,
And not a bad one,
Yo,
not
what you
gonna
doing?
lie.
still doing stuff. You can check out my stream if you want to. I'm streaming this,
I,
Are you streaming
I,
the what?
the roleplay.
Oh, okay. So something just happened, right?
What?
Mm-hmm.
I was I was I, my
Uh,
whole started going
I've been
crazy,
playing
right? More than
Star Wars
I'm
Battlefront
home
2
alone,
the whole
right?
time.
Mm-hmm.
I look out the window, my weird windows that you can't really see through. You know what
See,
I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I got my heavy,
I check out there. I don't see any
got the
company.
heavy class
I don't
leveled
look
up
up there.
to
So,
level 40. He's
so
so
I
close
decided
to
I'm
being
gonna check
level
the
41.
camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a full-on wild animal on my porch.
That's fun.
It looked like a cat. I don't know what was a cat. It was trying to communicate with Pebbles at the door.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the door finally. Well, it was still on the camera. It was gone. Couldn't see it on the outside the window, but I could see it on the camera. It was weird. The camera has a bit of a delay. I opened the door. There's this huge flipping spider on the door seal.
Hey, I
Like,
just
huge.
looked at the
Like big
chat
enough to be a granddaddy long leg,
on
but not a granddaddy
like
long leg.
Justin's stream about all this
I'll be right
madness.
back.
Why did you?
Don't use my real name, you buffoon. I'm back. Sorry.
Sorry, habit.
Like it was big enough to be a granddaddy long leg, but not a granddaddy long leg. Made me
Used
think it
to
was brown
calling you
loose.
by your name.
Mm-hmm.
And just flipping scares me.
I say that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
See, Dwayne chatted Zeb, she's 12, then JK.
All right, I'm back. Where were we before you decide to? Oh my god. Hold on. Hi, cousin. Say hello to the stream because I'm not muting myself again. What's up?
Hello, stream. I'll say your real name.
No, don't.
Okay. Love you, dude. See you. Bye.
See you. That's my cousin. Anyways, as I was saying, where were we?
Oh yeah, featuring basically, hey Coe was like, hey Coeus, here's my grand secret. Want to have some good old power?
Well, yeah, basically, after getting to know this man Coeus and like peering into his soul a little bit, he was like, I could use this guy. And so at the end of middle school, he was like, hey yo, shows wings. I have power. Want some?
I have the power.
Mm-hmm.
And fan will understand.
I kid you not.
Love that reference.
I kid you not, right? Coeus looked up at the god Phaeton, who just offered him all this power in a fancy speech, and he was like, "Sure."
Let's see. Phaeton took Coeus to his personal library and showed him his vast collection of the entire multiverse's history. Allowed
Big
Coeus
library.
access to everything but the forbidden chamber of which for a time Coeus was satisfied with.
Big
Coeus read
library.
throughout the centuries without age. He had read all and discovered the secrets of reality and how it was engineered by the trio of beyond gods. Of all the books in the library that Phaeton had written, he felt there was always more, with his curiosity piqued
Make sure to
and
slow
his
down.
urge to learn more manifesting further. Coeus entered the Forbidden Chamber and read every last book in it.
This was, as you might assume, a bit of a bad idea. Because within the depths of Phaeton's library, he came across a bit of a unique book, right? He came across a weird collection of glowy strings near the bottom of the library. And for those of you who've forgotten, Phaeton, tell him what it is.
Strings of fate, strings of reality, fabric of reality,
Strings
blah,
of
blah, blah.
Eternity, come on!
Oh yeah, strings of eternity.
I
I'm
give
an
you
idiot,
one job,
remember?
anyways. So he came across Strings of Eternity, touched them, and he went on basically the greatest drug trip ever. Came back, and he was like, I see now. I understand my purpose. I wish to become your general, oh god. And Phaeton was like, bet.
Wait.
Hmm?
That's okay. Phaeton returned after his 689th conquest. He found Coeus huddled up in the corner of the library, pale and sleep deprived, but the most disturbing detail being his strings of fate were cut.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Became an
Interacting with the
uncontrollable
Strings of
anomaly.
Eternity. Okay, I gotta explain this, right? The Strings of Fate are basically like things that only the gods of fate can see, and they are what allow a god of fate to control a person. They are pulling on his strings, per se. And your strings being cut means that you are free from the influence of fate as a whole, which is terrifying for the gods of fate because then they can't control you anymore.
We continue? Then and there, Phaeton knew what he had done. The only string that remained was thin and fraying. It was his string of life, and that was all that kept him alive.
The string of life is what connects you to the mortal realm. Go ahead.
If it's cut, dead.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's not how that works. Fate can't control life. He can't control the time of death. It's just, hey, I'm good. This guy, we're trying to introduce him to our oh my god role play right now. Actually, hey, I'm good. Welcome to. Don't curse, please. I'm currently streaming and recording right now. So say hi to everybody.
Hey, good. Take note. We're not actually role playing right now. Because Joven decided to be an idiot and not show up.
Mhm.
I call people by their names, okay?
Shut up. Anyways, welcome to the stream. This is Amgood. He doesn't talk. Apparently his mic is broken or he's just being introverted. He is here to say funny stuff in the chat down here while we talk. Anyways, where were we? Ah, yes. String of life doesn't make sense. Oh, I get it. The string of life can only be cut by the gods of death. I get it. I get it. I get it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Adrian knew he couldn't repair it, for in all of his trillions of years he had never seen anything like this. Instead, he comforted Kois and did all he could to keep him healthy and alive. Doing so, he put on a compassionate persona that, at the time, only Preston and Yami knew was an act. Kois told Phaetron of all that he had read,
Meanwhile,
and all the terrible things that
wait,
Phaetron
what are you
already knew,
doing,
for
man?
he had
Don't,
written it all.
guys, please don't do that. Please don't. This is going up on YouTube.
Adrian allowed Kois to read his heroic stories that were still unfinished, but none of it could return Kois to what he had lost. Humanity was there, but it in tatters and was only being held together by his very life. Truly pitiable existence.
Yeah.
Next
Uh.
paragraph has the wings of
Oh my
the
God, guys,
finite wings
stop it,
in it.
Jesus! Ugh. I leave the
Ne-
chat alone for 3
Next
seconds.
paragraph has the finite wings in it. I'm reading off of Phaetron's perspective, by the way.
I know. You're reading off of your own script. I'll take over from here. Basically, what he's talking about is Vatrian is quite literally a psychopath as of now. Lower my resolution. No. Yeah. Alright, hold on, guys. Let me pause the stream real fast to lower my resolution real fast. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god. How do I. Sorry, everybody. I know. It's a bit. No, it's. I can see you in the chat. That's my cousin. Dude, it's fine. The resolution's fine. I can see the stream from my thingamajig right here. It's fine. Let me look at my stream right now from my thing, alright? I swear to God. Yeah, it's fine. You're just being an idiot. Don't stop. I'm gonna mute you right now if you don't shut up. Anyways,
My elevator music, though.
what? Lower it? No. Why? Are you serious right now? Why would I lower it? You're just being stupid. Anyways, where were we? Before I get caught off track. Purpose lower. Oh my god. One
Someone in the chat is
second,
complaining
everyone.
about the RP not being a roleplay session.
What? Because cutting in and out. No, it's not. Alright. Give me a second, guys. Let me just. How exactly do you lower resolution? Hold on, let me cut this out. All right, it's too low. It's too low. It's at the maximum right now. It's 1920 by 180. That's how big my monitor gets. Resolution is fine. It's too low. What? This is getting dumb. Hold on. You know what? We'll work out this later, man. Cause like I don't care. I can't turn it down anyways. We're just gonna. Boop. Welcome back, everyone, to the actual stream. Cause your Wi-Fi can't handle this high quality. No, it can actually. Because if you look, this green bar here means that my Wi-Fi is handling this just fine, actually. And watching my stream right now, I think maybe your whole thingamajig right here is just yeah. The stream's fine. It's just your system that's doing. Oh God, I opened up the wrong tab. It's your Wi-Fi that's doing it wrong.
Hey,
Anyways,
Justin,
welcome back. Huh?
tell me what I can, and I'll skip
Oh my
past the
God.
whole fight at wing shit,
Hey,
and
dude, we have actual viewers who aren't people we know.
you know,
Welcome everyone. This is crazy. I never even had people this many people here. That's pretty cool.
someone left.
Oh well. Anyways, so what were we saying before we got into that whole
Oh
thing?
yeah. I'll skip past the whole fight at wings plot, like
That didn't
madness.
happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Then I'll get and how about I get to the part where Fatrid makes Cohesive general and crap.
Okay. Here's the plan, right? I'll just summarize it. Basically, Koya saw everything when he touched the strings of eternity, because that's just how it works. And he was like barely alive, but he was freed from he was freed from his strings. And Adrian at this moment in time is literally pretty much a psychopath, like in every
Yeah,
sense of the term. And
yeah.
so he was like, "Don't worry, I'm here for you. I care for you." When really he's not. And so what happened was, Koi's was like, "Okay, tell you what, yeah, I see the path I must go on. Make me your general." And Phaetron was like, "Bet," and made Koi's his general and gave him like just a lot of power.
Enough power to repair all the strings that needed to be repaired.
Hmm.
Needed.
Yeah. And immediately after that was done happening, what happened next? Mr. Coes
Let's
and
see. As conquests raged on Phaetron's behalf, with Coeus at the helm, universes fell at a rate faster than a snap, for their power could only be matched by the other
yo, bro,
Beyonders.
bro. I get that you're reading off of something that you wrote, but like, do you think you could like chunk it, please?
Coeus eventually found him. Essentially, Coeus got bored and he found it, and he felt like he needed a little something else to spice up the mix. So basically, he wanted to fall in love, and he went over to Fatrid. He was like, "Yo, man, kind of, I'm kind of lovesick, man. Can you hook me up with someone?
Okay,
Get
translation
out of
for
my room, Morgane!
I'm gonna
Get out!
mute
Get up! Get up!"
you. All right. Anyways, he's muted for now. Translation for those of you who don't know what he just said. So, what happened was Mr. Coeus, under Mr. Phaetrion's guide, went on a rampage, annihilating tons of universes wherever he saw fit. Just generally conquering for Mr. Phaetrion, right? And eventually, however, he grew tired of the conquest. After all, what was the point at a certain point in time? It's just so much bloodshed and violence got boring. So he went up to Phaeton and he was like, "My man, my heart, it hurts. Give me something to love, right?" And hopefully he's
Get
done with it. Nope. All right. Oh my god, dude, your bad Wi. Ugh. I'm sorry, stream. My cousin is complaining about his bad Wi-Fi. Hmm. Anyways, right? And so immediately afterwards, what was happening? Ah, yes. So he went up to Phaetrian and he was like, "Yo, man, I need a wife, somebody to love, someone to pour my love to, and something to distract me from just the endless conquest." And Phaetrian basically went, "No, no. He didn't know. He said, all right." And Mr. Phaetrian did a, how do I say this, big dumb move. Is he done yet?
rest now.
No. Okay, he's not done yet. He did what's called a big dumb move. And basically, right, he went to his forge. He was getting
No,
pretty good at
no, you're
forging.
not muted.
Hi, Dway. I unmuted you. Sorry about that.
Why was I muted? It's because I'm black, isn't it?
No. It's the reason. It's because you say things like
No,
that.
he's Phaetrion's done pouting with his sister.
Okay, cool. Muting you again. Okay. Anyways, hi, Patron.
Oh, Am I finally okay? I thought you muted me. Did you
No, no,
mute
no.
me?
I did meet you because you were more gay. Anyways,
Okay. I can explain the rest now.
whoa, no. I got up to the point where Koius
I
went up to
know where
Patreon.
you're at.
Okay. So tell me, what did Patreon make for Koius when he asked for love?
Uh, Phaedra decided to just snap, and he created what he thought was a single great bitch to ever live. Grava. Got up the way. Up the way. So he gave it, and like the only emotions they gave her was
Okay, hold up, hold up,
love.
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm gonna have to censor you heavily here. Basically, what he did was he created a body for Koius to, how do I say this, have his way with, per se. I know, creepy, disgusting, Patron was not a good person at this time.
Only emotions that she had was love and
And,
lust for
okay, don't say that,
Coes.
don't say
Just a variation. Honestly, if you ask me, it's a safer variation.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, yeah, he made that kind of messed up. Actually, it's very messed up, right? And so he presented to Mr. Koius, and Koius is just like, WTF.
Let's see. Hold on. Coeus, Phaedron in response. Hold on. Let's see. When Coeus dismissed it and asked for something more human in emotion, Phaedron had said, "Ha! If you wish for a proper wife, then find one yourself. Until then, I've given you what you asked for." This enraged Coeus and caused him to speak out and demean the beyond god he had worshipped. Phaedron, in response, gave Coeus a hearty slap, and me and you both know, Justin, it's a good old B slap.
It was it
That
was
would
it hurt
kill
his face as equally as it hurt his pride, really.
hearty slap that would kill most men. And as Coeus recoiled at the pain, Phaedron said this: "You dare speak to me in such a way? Without my power, you are worthless and ignorant mongrel that has no place existing. Learn your place, for I have taught it to you, weakling." This angered Coeus further, but he refused to speak, for now he knew the consequences.
I.e., right? Koius went up to Vadrian, and Koius was like, "Yo, bro, my man, you might explain. I'm kind of mad about that. I didn't ask for this. Now I have to take care of somebody, and they're kind of emotionless, so it's kind of messed up that you did this." And Katrin was like, "Cope." And so Adrian and Koi's got even madder, and he was like, "Listen here, you little," and then he got B slapped, right? And Koi's was like, "Fair enough." Oh my god. Hey, Adrian, are you currently watching the stream right now? Is it choppy in any way?
No, it's just a bit lagging behind what we're actually saying, but other
Is
than
it?
that, it's solid.
And that's stream lag. That happens with everything. Is it choppy? Is it? Can you hear us clearly?
I can hear us clearly.
All right, cool. And I'm going to assume Dwayne can do the exact same thing too. Dwayne, quick question: are you currently watching the stream?
Yes.
Is it choppy or or unhearable in any way?
No, it's your cousin's goofy Wi-Fi. It's
Oh,
making it.
shocker! That's what I've been telling him for the past 15 minutes, but he wouldn't believe me. Okay.
Also, maybe
Anyways,
it's because he's watching it on a
This
he
guy,
is.
PTX Skywalker, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably your internet, man. That's
that's
probably on
my
you.
guy. That is my cousin right there.
Oh, okay. Go fuck yourself, lad.
Hey, that's
Don't,
not a nice word.
don't.
You bet I flipped him off.
That's not a nice thing to do to say someone in chat. To say that to someone in chat.
Anyways, so as I was saying, what happened? Ah, yes. So Coius, understandably, was pissed off about two things. Now he had to take care of somebody who literally couldn't feed themselves because, kind of a living doll. And also, he got B slapped by Patreon. So he was just sitting there like, what do I
I wonder who our
Yeah,
do?
third viewer is.
Ois was, in all like honesty, pretty really freaking pissed. justified in being angry as well. I mean, seriously, what the hell, man? I may have designed the character, but even I know, yeah, kind of fucked up, Patreon. Kind of fucked up.
Language.
Kind of fricked up is what he
But
meant to say,
anyways,
chat.
Anyways, so
uh,
Mr. Coius, right, went back to the doll and was
That
like,
one.
"Hi,
That's
name's Coius. Here's clothes. Here's food. Hopefully, you can kind of just exist for a little while. I'm gonna go make some arrangements." And he kept coming back to the doll named Ava. And over time, the doll started showing human emotions here and there.
hey, starting to become somewhat sentient now.
Yes, started laughing, crying, being angry, and eventually, over a couple 100 million years, right? Boom,
that's the stream.
fully sentient and feeling emotion. It's good to go, right?
It's actually human in soul.
And guess what?
But in form, it is a succubus demon. So
Shut up.
Clip that.
But,
Clip that.
this time, however, the love that Ava felt for Koi's was actually real and genuine. And Koi's was like, all right. She loved me at first whenever she was made to love me, and that was kind of messed up. So I let her go, right? I let her stay there without loving me. But now, real human emotions, actually cool. She still loves me. Bet. And so he got into a relationship with Ava. She became
is yet
his.
to. Patreon, like in the current RP, is yet to actually give Kois and Ava a proper wedding.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But anyways, right? While all that was going on, Kois was, going behind Phaetrion's back and looking into the other, certain aspects of Phaetrion's library that was, forbidden, right? And he came across a book after a couple million years of, rounding around in there. He came across a book to contact a certain god. That god being...
Yami.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I pause right now? I am so sorry. This is hilarious, right? My cousin was using his data, that's why the stream was choppy.
Oh, get some actual internet, loser! Nerd!
Hey, be nice. Anyways.
I clipped.
That's
I clipped you.
hilarious. Thank you for clipping me. Anyways. Aglet, Phaetrion the Forge Master, Lakali, and Mr. Just Away. That's cool. I have 2 people in here who are actually listening to this BS. Anyways.
I clipped the part I wanted to clip.
What did you clip? Let me click on this. What did you clip?
What you send that into my DMs? Thank you.
Let me see what this clip is. Dang it, my chat reset. Hold on.
What, the clip?
She's a demon. Oh no, what? Cool clip.
He is a demon. Oh no.
Send it into my DMs.
Anyways,
Yes,
as I was saying before you all rudely interrupted me,
and you literally asked to pause.
he contacted none other than Yami, source of Phaetrion's power, and he went, "Yo, Yami, it'd be totally funny if you were to help me stab Phaetrion, plus, chaos." And Yami went, "Fair enough."
Basically, Yami decided, smart to do my best Jevil impression. Let's do that now, boys! Kois is calling me? Oh, wait, okay.
Well, and so what happened was, Mr. Koius and Mr. Yami made a knife out of pretty much the only thing that could harm Mr. Phaetrion, and they met him on a planet. Now, since this is basically your character's big thing, I'd like you to take it over from here, buddy.
After this, we should end stream.
Let's see. Koius brought him there under the pretenses that,
stream.
hey, Yami's trying to, reset everything, and I know you want to keep all your damn power. I know you well, buddy. And Phaetrion was like, okay, let's pop this bit.
Yeah. So Phaetrion, Yami, and Koius all met up on the planet, Koei's behind Phaeton when facing Yami, and Yami went into a speech about something. And right as when he cued it, right, Koei stabbed Phaeton in the back, both literally and metaphorically, and Yami immediately stole the wings away from Phaeton.
Ooh, here comes the best part.
And
Uh,
Phaetron's like, WTF?
yeah. After that, Phaedron was like laying there, like starting to get up. He was starting to get up in a nearly standing position, and then Kois freaking stabs him in the chest with Phaetron's own sword. Oh, and
Ouch.
the best part is that's the sword. Uh, yeah, it technically kills Phaeton a little, like in body, and
Mm-hmm.
it leaves Phaeton's like biggest, most important scar, second most important. Yeah. Uh, oh, and the best thing is, before Phaeton physically dies, Yami says like, "You kind of deserve this," and Kois was like, "You totally deserve this," and then
Yep.
and then everything got freaking resetted.
Allow me to further dive into detail about what exactly happened. So, Yami stabbed Mr. Phaeton and was like, huh, lol, killed Preston from earlier, right? Stole the wings at the beginning and then stole the wings of fate. Temporarily, mind you, because no one being could have the wings power indefinitely. Temporarily had the power to reset all of their power levels and, begin everything anew in that particular multiverse. And he went to a speech about how your pride and hubris have overwhelmed you, and you turned your most loyal lieutenant against you, and yada yada yada, chaos god stuff. And the entire time, mind you, Atrian's just kind of sitting over there, sword in chest, going, you, it, and so with
Fuck you.
language, language, and so Yami went full on Thanos and reset everything with a snap, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh, and take note that Yami is basically master of all magic. So,
This is where
yeah,
we
he
cut it
did.
off.
Wow,
We can
this would
do.
be a bit of a struggle, and before any other Beyond God would be able to reset, they would freaking die,
Hmm?
because of the amount of power it would pour into him.
Wait, why are we
We
resetting?
Yami has studied magic to an extent that he's like,
shut up,
I can
bro.
do this in a couple of seconds. This is easy.
We should wait until next stream. We should do the new universe in the next stream,
Fair enough. It
like
is getting
3 in
kind
the
of late.
morning.
Uh, how do I make you a mod? I want to make you a mod.
You have to go into stream
I know where.
into
I'm
it.
Not gonna use it anyways.
trying to make a mod by going into the stream. But anyways, so
You gotta
thank you
search up
all
someone's
for
name
coming here.
and give them a
Let's see here.
badge.
Who is here currently?
Me.
Aglet, another viewer, La Kaylee. Those are the three people who are here that are not currently part of my inner circle. Thank you all for
Hey,
coming here.
if you can, please
Oh.
please proceed to chat. Like
Also,
interacting with viewers no matter what the stream is.
if you wanted to hear the earlier bits and you didn't and you weren't able to hear it,
Yeah,
you weren't
here's
here to
my
hear
best
it
bud.
first and you want to hear the entire thing, I'm posting a link right now in the chat, and that's my YouTube channel. A video will soon go up with the entire unedited story, or what is it, stream up on there, so you can view it there. But this is
I
unfortunately
got
where
notifications on for it. I
this
will
is,
be judging it once it goes up.
this is unfortunately where we depart. I thank you all for coming here and enjoying my little play here with my friends. It has been a fun time.
Yeah.
I hope to see.
Arrivederci, and we'll see you next time.
Have a
I
good
hope to see
night.
you
Do not
all.
let the big bud bite, and have a great morning if it's morning time. Peace, you guys.
I hope to see you all on the next stream, and I hope you have a very wonderful night or day.